Brian Solomon, how many years have you been a Hydrotex customer?
I have been, I gotta think how many years I've been farming. Since 1990.
Okay.
And my father was using Hydrotex before that. I don't know how many years.
Sure.
Probably 15 years before that.
Okay.
So 35, 40 years.
Okay. And what kind of difference, or what led you to choose Hydrotex oil, or what made you think that that was a more valuable product than more of a conventional oil?
We weren't using Hydrotex oil we were using Essential Lube, or I can't remember what the product was, and we decided to test the oil. I tested it in one of our combines, and the proving point to me was we ran the combine and put 300 engine hours on, and after that time period, we tested the oil, making me a believer.
Sure.
The interesting part of it was that 300-hour used Hydrotex oil tested out better than the brand new oil that I had sitting in the barrel. That was not. It was a competitor product.
Sure.
It was better than that brand new oil, so that made me a believer, and we've used it ever since.
And what other products besides the oil do you use?
AccuLube grease, the Dieselmate fuel additive products.
Okay.
Aquamate, tried a little bit of that this fall.
What'd you think of that product?
I was impressed. Enough that I know what the cost of it is, that I want to do some further testing of it. But the tank load that I ran through it, I was spraying in, I must say, I shouldn't have been spraying. It was 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Okay.
And I had no drift coming off the boom.
Okay.
I still would like to do maybe some card testing, which I might do yet. I might just do it here this winter through our little ATV in the shop. They have cards you can lay on for coverage.
Yeah.
And
I think I've heard of it, but
yeah,
I'm not sure. I'd like to see it.
I think I'm going to do that just to play around with it and see what it'll do. But right now, I'm pretty impressed with it. That I want to further that in our operation.
Could I be around for the testing?
Sure.
Because I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, we're going to film it all.
Yeah, that'd be great. I look forward to doing it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the grease?
You probably shouldn't film what I think. I don't like the grease.
Really?
No, because it's so tacky. It sticks to your fingers and everything else.
Sure.
And that's more about how you got your grease gun set up than the grease. That's why it's good, very good grease, because it's so tacky and it does what it's supposed to do. I have switched to other greases and have had bearing failures. Never had bearing failures with the Hydrotex grease. Because of the way it handles.
Sure.
I went away and started using some other greases before.
Yep.
I'm back to using Hydrotex because it's that good grease.
Yeah. And we got other greases if you want to try them.
I've tried, and they're for the price and what it does. That's the grease I need to be using.
Okay. And have you had any problems with injectors because of your fuel additives that you're using? Have you had any problems with injectors?
No.
In any of your equipment?
No.
Okay. Any engine failures using Hydrotex? Bearing failures using our grease?
No. And actually, especially on a John Deere, the motors they put in the combines, they might have changed them now since they've had to go to these updated tier 3,
Sure.
tier 4 motors. But the old 9-liter motors that they were putting in the combines, they were a normal tractor motor. They run 3 rings on the pistons. On a combine, for whatever reason, they only run 2 rings on the pistons.
Okay.
So you get a lot of blow by, which the oil consumption they're pretty stout on them. It's funny, on a new combine, I'll run whatever break-in oil is and change to Hydrotex, it don't take too many hours. I might have to add a little bit of oil at first I'm talking on a brand new motor.
Sure.
After that, it don't use anymore. It don't. I might use in a 300 hours or so we run it in a season. I might add a gallon, which is I asked a John Deere dealer, what is that? He goes, oh, I figured you use that a week. He goes, that'd be normal. Wow. He goes, that's normal to John Deere.
Okay.
So, because I was thinking a gallon in an oil interval was excessive, and so that helps seal that motor up that much better with their additive package and the Hydrotex oil.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of different things I can ask you that you like about Hydrotex products.
No, I don't have a Hydrotex tattoo yet, but.
But that's coming.
That's
yes,
coming.
Yes, we're going to offer those.
It'll be next
to
my,
at the company Christmas party.
Yes,
We'll have Hydrotex tattoos. Have you used it in your cars?
Yes, started using it in our cars about a year ago. Didn't know because I actually was using our diesel 15W40 oil in our. It wasn't in a car application. It was in a gas motor pickup, and well, it was a little bit harder starting in the winter,
sure.
But didn't know they had 10W30 or 10W20 or whatever these different.
Sure.
So I acquired some of them and been running in our cars, and I don't like changing oil in cars, so it works for me.
Oh,
it's
sure.
great. You get that extra extended interval on them.
I'm trying to think. Are there any other products that you can think of that you use? Besides, yeah, that's hydraulic fluid.
Yes. We started using the hydraulic fluid this past year.
Okay.
No performance issues or anything like that. It blended with. We didn't completely drain anything, so it wasn't like, okay, we're draining, we'll put this in. We've added it to existing what was ever in a tractor or something. No issues there of mixing issues.
Okay.
So.
You said that you had at one time switched your oil to a different. You had Hydrotex, and then a salesman came through, convinced you to try a different oil. You switched to that oil, and what was the results of that changing over to a different oil?
It was competitively priced. I mean, competitively priced with Hydrotex.
Sure.
I think it was really good oil, and I didn't see any issues. I'm not saying it was a bad oil or anything like that. It's just, okay, I can't be buying for 5 different guys. I want to buy from one company, so who am I going to buy from? It's Hydrotex.
Hydrotex is going to be, as of January 1st, giving every customer the exact quality control data on the product that you purchased. So coming out of the factory, they're going to tell you that your engine oil came out of a batch, and here were the oil tests that they did on that batch of oil. And so they're going to actually give you, the customer, the quality control data. Mm-hmm. That's something that's new, and I don't know of any other company that's doing that. Is that something that you find a benefit to know that Hydrotex is willing to open their doors and say, these are the tests that we ran on the oil that's going into your machine?
Well, I think it's great for transparency. I mean, I have an issue, and who am I going to go knocking on the door? It's going to be you and Hydrotex, and we can track that right down to that batch of oil, and not that the oil could very well not be the problem. Or you know what I'm saying? It could be a component failure of a motor that has nothing to do with oil. But I think that's great.
Now, we do diesel testing and oil testing. Do you find that service has been beneficial to you?
Yes, I don't use it extensively enough, though. We need to do a better job of testing, because it's like we discussed before, it's like blood work. Just one snapshot of that doesn't give you the full picture. It does at that moment in time, but you got to keep adding on to it, and that's
Sure.
where we've kind of we'll take a soil or not a soil sample, but an oil sample, and not maybe do one for a while. Well, we need to do it on a regular basis to get that to develop that database.
Okay.